Hey everybody, this is AYG's Alpha Team, here with another video for The Division. This is going to be a weekly reset for the Dark Zone vendors for the week of January 13th, 2017. Let's get right started over here. DZ6, West Side Dark Zone. We're going to run down all this side, go over, back up the other side, and then back on the inside of the Dark Zone. So we got a classic M60, Brilliant Vest, Protama. Not too shabby. Now the Dark Zone gear tends to be a little bit better than everything else outside of the Dark Zone, all the open world gear. You can take a look. There are a couple of things in here that I give a second look to because they're just a little better. But we're going to try and do one of these videos every week so you can get a better idea of what's going on. Now, I did do a separate video for the open world vendors. And the reason I separated them is because it just would have been a super long video. Nobody wants to sit through all that, so this way you can choose either Dark Zone or Open World, or watch them both. This is a pretty good first wave, X45. These knee pads aren't bad either. Mag is okay. And each one of these Dark Zone vendors has a Dark Zone sealed cache, if you wanted to pick one of those up.
Just keep focusing on getting there before anyone else does.
Working our way down here. Now, I don't know if this is how the Dark Zone works, but it seems like on the west side of the Dark Zone, the gear isn't as good as the east side of the Dark Zone. I'm not sure how true that is, but it just tends to be that way. I don't know if it's just an RG thing or what, but typically I've found that the higher level interactions you have in the open world, the closest corresponding Dark Zone checkpoints usually have higher stuff too. So you might want to keep that in mind when going through these. But you know, there's always a chance you can find something in any vendor, which is why we go through all of them. Compensator's okay.
I'll be waiting when you're ready to deal.
Let's see. What we got here.
What are you waiting for? This stuff ain't street legal, but it'll save your ass.
So you know, this is a classic AK-47. Decent loadout, decent mods, but still it's only a classic, so you're not going to get the same that you would get from like a black market AK.
You'll be back. I know it.
All the way over to 5th Avenue now. And I think this is one of the... Yeah, this first wave vector is actually not too bad. I got 17.3 damage, but I'm running slightly higher firearms than normal. This is my XP build that I'm running. Anytime I do anything out just wandering like Dark Zone or Open World, I run an XP build. So my toughness is way lower. My firearms is a little bit okay. That's what these numbers are. Now keep in mind, if you see a weapon you like, the damage that shows on the video isn't necessarily going to be the same damage that you'll have, because damage output is based on your overall firearms. So the higher your firearms, the higher damage output you'll have for each weapon. So these weapon damage limits will be different if your firearms is different than mine. Your firearms amount. So like this one's 14.9, but my firearms is 6,600. So if you have 6,600, it'll be relatively the same, but if not, you could be looking at different numbers. Higher firearms means higher damage output per weapon. And it only applies to the weapons. It doesn't apply to armor or weapon mods or gear mods.
Don't waste my time.
Decent custom M44. I do roll a marksman's rifle, so
Stop wasting my time.
that one's pretty good, but the one I have is just a little better. I roll an M700,
You think the Dark Zone's a joke?
which is pretty good for me, my playstyle. Tactical pads. So yeah, like I said, I run an XP build. So one of the main factors for getting as much XP as fast as possible is getting headshot kills
Hey,
with
you're gonna need this.
a set of knee pads that has the triple accolades awards. So you can get a set of knee pads that triples the amount of reward you get for accolades. Accolades being like headshots or survivor or team survivor. So for every headshot kill you get, you'll get a certain amount of XP. But if you have those knee pads or that specific talent on those knee pads, then you'll get triple. So when I'm out looking for XP, I just use the same build and I just try and use my marksman's rifle and just get a bunch of XP kills. Or, I'm sorry, headshot kills. So you can see this one. No, wait, this isn't the vendor. There's another vendor that has an M700. I think we passed it already. Yeah, it was the last one before this one. But that was a decent M700. That's a decent suppressor as well.
I'll be
I want
waiting
to take a
when
look at
you're
that.
ready to deal.
And it's kind of unfair to say what would be good for you or me or anybody. Like no one runs the same exact build. There are some builds that are better than others, but like for instance, I use a Hunter's Faith build and a Striker's build. But I also have a separate build for XP, which is Banshee Shadow,
Someone else will want this.
which is meant for the Dark Zone. So in the Dark Zone, I'm getting as much XP as possible, and I also don't lose it if I die.
Take a look at your
But maybe you'll find something that you like here, maybe you won't. It's all circumstantial to how you play the game. I'm not here to tell you how to play. I am here to show you where these zones are, what's at these zones, and what you can find at all these safe rooms and all these weekly resets. Maybe you'll see something you like. I personally, throughout this week, I found a couple of things I might like. There was a Banshee Shadow gloves at the terminal, and this M700 that was at one of these checkpoint vendors. Now this guy's got a black market AK-74, which is pretty good. You'll see right here, I gave it a second look. It's got 23.8 output. Pretty decent mods. It's got deadly, but you can swap that out to something else. Pretty okay Scar H2. Not a bad light machine gun, but this black market AK-74 is pretty good. I use one myself, but mine's just a little bit better. One less percentage for enemy armor damage, but I've got better talents and I have a little bit more damage. I'm gonna stick with what I got. But yeah, take a look. Hopefully you can pick out something this week. It seems more like an electronics week than anything, rather than stamina or firearms. And this is it, guys. Thanks for watching. We're going to be putting out one of these every week. A Dark Zone vendor reset and an open world vendor reset. And if anything else is noteworthy, we'll let you know about it. Until then, go ahead and game on.
Game on! Yeah, game on!